Hello and welcome back to another BP Plays video. We have our Ipswich career mode here. Yeah, well, we won the league last episode, so into the championship, and we just got an invite to the pre-season tournament. I think we're going to take the one with the most money, which is 2.29 mil. We're going to accept that one. So before we go any further in this episode, I'm going to get a training session out of the way first. You know, I love the cheeky training sessions. You should know this by now, guys. So what we'll do is we're going to put in, we'll go with Morris for this first one, and we'll give him hard. We'll give him all hard, to be fair. Let's try and get him all hard. We'll go wingers. No, we won't go winger. Let's go for a midfielder, and we'll go for, we'll get Jones in there. Get him in there with another hard training session. Go with a goalkeeper. We'll do the youth player there. We've got White. We'll use him. We've got a fullback. Who can we go for here? Let's go with Lavinia. We'll go with him. He's quite young there. We'll get him done. We've done a midfielder already, haven't we? We'll have centre back, and we'll do Wolfen then for that one. Just simulate those and see how they get on. So Morris got a D, Jones with a C, White with a B, Lavinia with a D, and Wolfenden with a D as well. So before we go anywhere else, check our emails. We've already read that one, so we get rid of that one. It's from last episode. So yeah, that one there is just telling us that the transfer market is now open. This one here is just saying about having a very draining and demanding season last season. And they appreciate we've accepted the invitation to participate in the European International Cup, and hopefully we can use this to build our squad and experiment with lineups and that. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Before we go anywhere else, let's check out our expectations. So as you can see here, this one here, we've got youth development. Make a 2.7 mil profit from a youth player sale within 2 seasons. So that can be done, obviously, from selling a few of the players. Well, what we'll do is we'll send out a scout soon. This one here, sign one crucial first team player assigned to the forward position. Well, I did have some positions lined up. A striker was not one of them. I wanted maybe a goalkeeper and a centre back, a right back, potentially left back, and then a left mid player. They're the players all the positions I wanted. Sorry, so I mean, we can work on maybe getting a striker. I'm sure we can have a look at it. Don't have any continental success because we're not in Europe. Finish mid-table for the EFL Championship. Obviously, we're newly promoted, so that's probably a reasonable goal there. I'm going to set a personal goal of my own though, and I want to finish in a playoff spot. That's my personal goal there. I want to finish. If you think that's too optimistic, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, that's the goal I want to go for, is finish in a playoff spot. And then the financial, we have no financial objective, so that's always a plus. What we're going to do though is I am going to go and search for a few players and see if we can bring them in. I won't bore you with all the searching and all the scouting, but I'll come back as soon as I've done what I needed to do. So I'll be back in just a moment, guys. So we just sent some scouts out for a couple of players, although we do know a little bit of information on Joe Hart there. Obviously he's 75 overall rated. I'm just going to wait till we hear back from all of the scouts, so we find out how good some of the players are. So just give you a quick overview here before we go into our first game. We've got Kelleher there in goal, and obviously, like I just mentioned, Joe Hart. And then in centre back, we've gone for Leo Ostergaard and Aaron O'Driscoll in them centre back positions. And I only chose one right back. I couldn't really find anyone else that I really liked the look of, to be honest. But I mean, that could change in the near future, obviously. Maybe it depends on obviously if we bring Ben Johnson in or not. But as you just heard there, Ben Johnson, who's my only right back that I've chose. Got a couple of left backs. We've got Brad Smith and Brandon Williams. And then we've gone for a couple of left midfielders, obviously Kennedy there, and then Jordan Davies. And then up front, as you see from our objectives, we needed to bring a forward player in. So we're going for Dwight Gale and Rhian Brewster. So they're the players I've gone for. I'm just going to wait for the scout report to come back. What we'll do is we'll simulate through here, and I'll be back with the first game of the episode. Unless anything else pops up in the meantime, but I'll be sure to update you with anything important that pops up. So just before we get into our game, we've got a couple of transfer offers here for Caden Jackson and for Pedro Chiavea. So let's jump across. Here we have obviously Pedro Chiavea transfer offer from Boavista FC. His market value should be between 1.3 mil and 1.9, and they're offering me 1.45. I don't really want to sell him, although I know he wants to go out. Hopefully we can give him some, obviously keep him with that game time, and he will change his mind. So we'll go ahead and reject that. Unless I'm forced to sell him, I really don't want to at this first moment in time. And then we've got Alan Janspor, and we're interested in purchasing this player. His market value should be between 720,000 and 1.5. So you could negotiate a better deal. Well, they've offered 970,000 for Jackson. I don't want to sell him, not yet anyway. Not if we bring another forward in. I don't want to. Then I can look at offloading maybe. But for now, I'm going to hope to keep as many players as I can. So I'll hopefully just jump straight into this next game now with a bit of luck. There we go. Look. So can we start this episode off with a bang? Hopefully we can and get the result that we want. Let's find out. Oh, and that's a 1-0 loss. That's something we can't be doing. We need to go far in this tournament. We need the extra funds so we can bring in these extra players. We definitely need to look at bringing in a defender now. And potentially a goalkeeper. We had this problem last season. We just could not keep goals out. So hopefully we can do that this time. What I'm going to do though is I won't bore you with another training session. What I'll do is I'll do a training session myself, and then hopefully I'll sim through to the game. But I'll be back to update you guys if anything else pops up. So just to give you guys an update here, look, we've had a transfer offer for Luke Wolfenden, 5.2 million they're offering there for Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's only 21, so he's got youth on his side. I don't really, as I said like just a second ago, I don't really want to sell anybody, to be honest. Although they are offering like obviously 5.2 million. Oh, I don't know. Nah, I will reject that offer. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to reject that offer. I know it's a lot of money to be rejecting, but it's something that I feel that I need to do for the minute. Like I said, I don't want to hopefully sell players at the moment, not until I've at least brought in a replacement for them. But anyway, enough about that. Second game of the episode. We need 3 points here. Obviously, hopefully to progress through. Can we get the 3 points we so badly need here? Get in there. The 3 points we needed. Edwards, Jones and Norwood with the goals there. We keep a clean sheet, which I did slate a little bit at the last game. So good performance there from the whole squad there. Obviously 3-0 winners and a clean sheet. Couldn't have asked for a better response after that first loss there. That puts us up into second place. Couple of emails there. So interest. Come to my attention that Brandon Williams has been approached by Bayern Munich. Manchester United have received an offer of 8 mil for his services. Oh. Yeah, 8 mil is a little bit pricey for us. So if that is the case, then he can go. Another transfer offer here for Chiavea. This time for 1.3 mil. Again, unfortunately, I'm going to reject the offer. Sorry, Chiavea. I hope you understand that. I want to keep you. You're a good player. I'm giving you the game time. Hopefully you can... Another one, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, so here we are. Like Al Nasser interested in purchasing this player for 1.45. Again, unfortunately, I'm not willing to sell. Not just yet, anyway. Maybe in January if he's still not happy in January, hopefully we can retain him till then. At the very earliest, but... I don't know. So yeah, so this is the third game of the episode. Can we keep the momentum going and get 2 wins out of the previous one, sorry. Let's find out and jump into it. Come on, 3-1 winners there. Jackson with the goal and Norwood with 2 goals there. Happy with that. Hopefully that result can see us through to the semi-finals. It has done. There we are, look. Semi-finals again for the 2nd consecutive season in the pre-season tournament there. We'll do a trainer session here. So quickly, just a quick update. Look, Morris with a D, Jones with an A, White with an F. That's a bad result there. Lavinia with a C. He does go up an overall rating. And Will Fenden with a C as well. We've got a couple of emails here that we'll check them out. Tournament prize money, yeah, additional transfer budget, 495,000. Thank you very much for that. And Besiktas have showed interest in purchasing Miles Kenlock for a free of 3.45 mil. I'm going to see if I can bump that price up a little bit, to be honest. So I'm going to do a little bit of negotiations, and I'll be back with an update to see if we were successful or not. So we managed to negotiate a better deal there. So we managed to negotiate a £5 million transfer fee there. And it's down to Miles Kenlock, sorry, and his agent to negotiate with Besiktas and see if he's willing to go or not. Is he our first choice left back? He is our first choice left back. So that means that we're going to have to try and bring in another left back to replace him. Although we have Herrera there, who did have quite a good few games last season. What we'll do now though is hopefully get into this semi-final match. I'm not really sure why the emails popped up there, to be honest, but yeah, we have an email now. Look, transfer offer for Dozel, 870,000. Again, I'm going to reject that offer. I'm not even going to look at any of the other things, to be honest. Get rid of that email there. So here we have our 3rd game, obviously. Sorry, 4th game. Or 3rd game? I can't keep count. I've lost count now already. Useless me, to be honest. So yeah, so anyway, this is the semi-final. We'll go with that one. We'll go with just the semi-final. So, obviously, we need the win to go through to the final, and obviously the transfer budget and everything would be a big help and a big boost. So, can we get this victory done? Let's find out. No, we can't get the victory done. Oh, I'm gutted with that. I'm really gutted with that, to be honest. We should have, I would have hoped to go through to the final, sorry. We managed to do it last year, obviously. We can't do it this year. Anderson with a goal for them in the 16th minute. Will Fenden gets booked. He had a bit of a troubled history of getting booked last season as well, didn't he? So, a couple of emails here. One of them is probably the prize money. Yeah, there we go. Look. Prize money, additional transfer budget of 720,000. Thank you for that. And obviously, too bad we didn't make it out of the group stage for the European National Cup. Well, we did because we was in the semi-finals there. I'm not really sure what that email is all about, to be honest. But what I'll do is I'll sim through again. If we get any updates, I'll be back. We won't go anywhere because there's an update there. Transfer offer there for Nasalia. I'm not really sure. I don't know if he's anything in our starting lineup or not. But 610,000. I did say earlier I didn't want to sell anyone, but after losing the pre-season tournament, I think I'm going to accept that. Hopefully we can get. I know he's valued at 700,000, but I don't know. It's down to you now to negotiate and see if you want to be playing football elsewhere. So yeah, quick up. I'll be back. I'm just jinxing it. Look, I'm just jinxing it. So Miles Kenlock has been sold for 5 mil. Glad that's happened, to be honest. And then the board has allocated 4 million to our current transfer budget. Thank you very much. That'll be much needed to bolster our squad. And Galatasaray are interested in purchasing Curtis Jones for 7.3 mil. Well, he's enjoying his football here in a minute. I like having him here, so I'm going to head and just reject that straight up. So before I sim anymore, because I don't want to jinx it anymore, I'll be back with an update after we sim a few days. So here we are with an update. We've got another transfer offer for Pedro Chiavea. The Salah sold for that 610,000, so 450,000 has been added to our transfer budget. And then all these are just final scout reports. So let's jump across and have a look at them. So here we are. Obviously, Pedro Chiavea wants to go. I've had a warning from the board of directors saying that we need to sell him. So I think we're going to have to look at bringing in a centre mid. Didn't really want to do it, but unfortunately it's what we're probably going to have to do. So yeah, let's get negotiating and see if we can bump up that 1.3 mil offer they've sent us. So I'll be back with an update just a mo. So we managed to negotiate a £1.6 million deal for him. It's up to Pedro Chiavea now and his agents to negotiate with them. But let's jump across to here, look, because we now have some of our scouts back. So Kelleher 63 rated, Joe Hart 75, Ostergaard still isn't back yet. We've got Aaron Driscoll there, 54 overall, Ben Johnson 61, Brad Smith is 66, Kennedy and Williams isn't back yet. I'm actually going to remove Brandon Williams from there because he's just signed for Bayern Munich. Yeah, so obviously Kennedy isn't back yet. We've got Jordan Davies there, who's 54 rated. Brewster isn't back yet, and neither is Dwight Gale. So what I think we're going to do is look at a goalkeeper. I haven't really decided which one I really want to bring in. Obviously Kelleher's only 21, so I might be able to bring him in. So Joe Hart's a little bit older, so he might be looking obviously to see out his career, hopefully with a championship squad obviously. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have a look at getting both of them, or just see which one I can get on a better deal. But again, same as always, I'll negotiate and I'll be back in just a moment. So we managed to negotiate Kelleher there, and we got him for 760,000. I just got to negotiate a contract with him, but I'll do that in just a moment as well. I just want to have a look at everyone else. So obviously we're still waiting on Ostergaard's stats to come back, although he has had a transfer offer accepted from Derby, so obviously we're going to have to remove him. And then we've got Aaron Driscoll here, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at him, Ben Johnson as well, and we'll look at Brad Smith there as well. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and negotiate for them 3 players, or try and buy them 3 players, and then we'll look at the negotiations for their contract after. But I'll be back with an update. So managed to negotiate deals from their clubs. So here we have obviously Aaron O'Driscoll here, negotiated for 150,000 to buy him. Ben Johnson from West Ham, 500,000 I managed to negotiate for him, and then obviously Brad Smith here, 700,000 to negotiate for him. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna offer anyone else at the moment. Oh, hang on, Dwight Gale just joined this club, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to sign Dwight Gale, but we'll hopefully be able to bring these 4 players in, and then hopefully one of these or 2 of these 3 players here sometime in the near future we'll be able to bring them in. But let's get in with negotiating contracts for these guys, and I'll give you an update in a moment when I've negotiated with some of these people. So we managed to bring in all of the players that we were after. Obviously Kelleher, O'Driscoll, Johnson and Smith, all managed to bring them in, all of them for 5 years, apart from Smith, who only wanted a 4-year contract. Smith is on 20 grand a week, Johnson's on 7,400, O'Driscoll's on 5,000, and Kelleher is on 7,000. So hopefully we'll be able to get the scout reports coming in for them soon, so we can look at bringing them in. Obviously see if Chiavea sells or not. Before we try and advance any further though, let's send a youth star out. Youth scout out, sorry, youth star. Let's try and find a star. Set up scouting network. We'll just send them to England again because I do like my homegrown players, and we'll just accept that straight there. Set up the scouting network. Hopefully, yeah, it's just I'll be in England for the network, setting the scouting network up. Thank you very much for that. So as you can see on here, transfer budget is 13.4 mil. We don't have any wage budget left, but obviously we can adjust that slightly. So let's adjust that. So let's do it to say 31,000. We'll keep it there. Adjust it to there. As always, I'm going to jump through and I'll update you guys if anything important comes up. So Pedro Chiavea and his agent have agreed on personal terms with Heidenheim. We'll go with that one. Deal to sell Pedro Chiavea for 1.6 mil. The board has allocated 1.2 to your current transfer budget. I'm sad to see you go, but that's what you wanted at the end of the day, isn't it? So, unfortunately, there's not much we could do there. I just want these scouts to come back. I want to try and get some of them players in before we have Norwich in our first game. There we go, look. Couple of scouts in, yeah. So, final scout report on a couple of them players. So, we'll just get rid of, delete them, and then we'll go through and have a look. So, youth player here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Overall 63. Again, we'll get rid of that. Training injury. Guan Edwards suffered a torn hip flexor. He'll be out for 6 weeks. Ooh, that's a bad one, that one. So what we'll do is we will just skip that. Player development. Let's do a little bit of training. Get them in there. So here we are. Morris with a C. Jones with an A. White with a D. Lavinia with a D. And Wolfenden with a C as well there. Let's have a look at the transfer hub and see what's come back. So we've got Kennedy, Davies and Brewster. So Brewster is overall 70, Davies is overall 54 and Kennedy is 77. So we might have to offer between 14 and 21 mil for Kennedy, 90,000 and 100,000 for Davies, and between 4 mil and 6 mil for Ryan Brewster. I think Kennedy's just out of our price range there, and yeah, we haven't got enough. We only brought 11 mil. So unfortunately we'll remove him, but let's try and get these two players here, and I'll be back with an update and let you know if I've managed to bring them in or not. So back in just a moment. So just giving you guys an update before we do any negotiations. We managed to agree deals for 100,000 for Jordan Davies, and then we managed to do 5 million for Ryan Brewster. So we managed to do them. So what we're going to do is I will negotiate a contract with them, and as always, update you in just a moment, guys. So we managed to bring in Ryan Brewster and Jordan Davies there. Not too bad of a couple of signings there, to be honest. So we managed to bring in the 4 we needed, and we managed to bring in pretty much every position that I wanted to bring in this pre-season. Email here from the Ipswich board. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably just the brand exposure. So one crucial first team player assigned to the forward position. So yeah, I'm happy with that. We brought in the players we wanted. It's now coming up to the first game of the championship. We won't be playing that today though, so hopefully you'll look forward to watching that game in the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed this episode though. I've been BP Plays, and I'll see you next time.